The Arkwright family's monthly supper swear, less meals than exhibitions. I and the house above Napa. Silver flashed, voices rose, and status hung like cologne. I took my seat by the hearth and watched the pageant begin. Picked up a spread in Jackson Hole. Drawled my cousin Blaine, nosing his Cabernet. Neighbor's the guy who bankrolls half the apps on your phone. Please, said Miranda, flicking open a lacquered clutch. We just signed a vineyard outside Siena. Private Pathdo the Terranian. You can't price a horizon like that. You've been quiet, Iris and Vivian called, pearls clicking. Catch us up. Blaine leaned and we were curious about your living arrangement. What about it? I set down me glass. That cramped duplex in Portland, he said. Still renting. Fiona on Alder Street, Miranda added, finding surprise. I didn't realize people our age still rented. I nearly laughed. The Alder Street complex was Evergreen Point's first acquisition. My firms executed under an arm they'd never connect to me. To them, I was a tenant. In truth, I was the landlord. I like the space, I said. You're 35, sweetheart, Vivian purred. Time to grow up. Buy something real. Real. Try a portfolio off stabilized multifamily brick storefronts. And yes, Arkwright Plaza, this very building we met in each month. 6 months ago. Evergreen bought control quietly. I manage, I said. She can Tevin swing a mortgage. Blaine smirked. Let them talk. Tomorrow a lease renewal letter would cross their desks. They'd notice the masthead then. Father finally glanced up. Not everyone is blessed with Blaine's instincts. Iris chose her lane. They thought my lane was small. They had no idea where it led. Morning made the valley glassy and remote. Portland made sense again the second I stepped into my real office. A penthouse with brick bones and river light. Leia set a cappuccino by my laptop. The plaza board is already gathering. She said your family's early. Charm offensive packets. Bound and tabbed. The forensic team found more than we hoped. Good. I breathed once. Today I sent punishment. It's correction. At 9, the ownership notice queued for release. At 10, I walked into Arkwright Plaza's boardroom. The view framed the city. The table shone like a mirror. I didn't need. My family clustered down the far side. Overdressed and underslept. Blaine started brittle. This is a closed session. I set my briefcase at the head. I'm Iris Vale, founder and owner of Evergreen Point. We own this building. Silence collapsed the room. Vivian's lipstick looked suddenly loud. Father's hand tightened on a pen. You, Miranda breathed. I work, I said. And I keep receipts. I slid folders outward, line items, transfers, invoices. Here, $2 million in roof repairs that match wire dates to Blaine's Jackson Hole purchase. Here, Venley Mechanical, your husband's firm. Triple billed for plumbing. And this art program paid out off maintenance. Vivian's pearls clicked. You would humiliate family. You humiliated yourself, I said quiet. I'm presenting the truth to a board you treated like a wallet. Phones vibrated. One director glanced up. The announcement's live. And nodded. Effective immediately. Evergreen imposes new operations, audited budgets, open bids, no related party contracts. Comply, and the plaza thrives. Refuse, and these reports go to the state. An IRS no one spoke. The city beyond the glass kept breathing. Choose, I said. A week in upend a dynasty. Reporters camped. The audit's findings moved from Whisperdo headline. Vivian resigned from 3 committees. Miranda's husband shuddered Vinley under scrutiny. Blaine sold the Jackson Hole Mirage to pay tax counsel. Father didn't grandstand. He knocked on me office glass at dusk and asked Simply to learn. We began with Alder Street. I kept my apartment brick warm with courtyard vines and turned the renovation plan into a living syllabus. Seismic retrofits without displacement. Storefront leases that favor neighborhood craftspeople. A child care co-op in the old laundry. On Friday, we hosted a courtyard party beneath strung lights. Tenants brought pies. A jazz trio threaded between planners. The fountain's hush kept the city at bay. Mother arrived in jeans carrying tamales from Mrs. Ortiz. She wandered my rooms and stopped at a photo of me, 23, clutching a fresh license. Why this path? She asked. Because I wanted to build, not posture, I said. To measure wealth in steadiness. She nodded. A woman loosening an old costume. By 7. Eve and Vivian stood by the Coco Inn, listening while Mr. Heller, 90 and fierce, described the year the roof leaked, and no one answered his calls. That won't happen again. I told her. He patted my sleeve. It already isn't. At the plaza, transparency took root. Open bids, published budgets, tenant councils. Revenue stabilized because trusted. The board learned to read a ledger without wincing. One by one, my family found better uses for their hands. Blaine on a rehab crew. Miranda organizing grants for storefronts. Father taking minutes with a Focus OFA, first year. Legacy, I realized, Iacent marble and noise. Its brick held steady be many palms. And a promise kept when no one's watching.